listening to a lot of Nelly, listening to a lot of Ja Rule, Bone Thugs, and so back whenever I first started rapping and doing music, I incorporated that stuff into my music. So a lot of the stuff, a lot of the singing stuff back then, especially like locally, people weren't really like on to it. So whenever Drake came out and he made a big impact, it was Drake, it was Drake. And so, I like to feel like I was out before Drake, even though Drake made a way bigger impact than I did. But, so that's why like a lot of times anytime people hear my music, they say, oh man, that sounds like something Drake could do. Oh man, like, you sound like Drake. It's like, Drake sound like me.
I get that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Haitian Kings Podcast. Today, man, like we do every other podcast, we invite somebody special, somebody in the community that have something going on. So this is the Haitian Kings Podcast, two guys from Haiti trying to bring something new to the table. So today, we have a special guest. Somebody's a rap artist, entertainer. I mean, this guy can, when he rap, he drop bombs.
The man goes hard. He goes hard. But, like, it's kind of like I'm not going to say Kendrick Lamar 2.0, but it's kind of one of them dudes when he's rapping, you got to pay attention to what he's saying or it's going to fly over your head. Or at least some of the shit he said flew over my head. I have to go back and listen to it again. I'm like, oh, shit, I see what he was doing. Just to give people a tip. So when you go check him out, so you know what's waiting for.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dru Blanchard.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the show, bro.
Appreciate y'all for having me. Appreciate y'all.
I mean, so,
I got to ask him a question. People that listen to your music, because usually I don't know if it's just one of my tendencies, but whenever I listen to something new, I tend to relate it to something that I already know or something that I already appreciate.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I say, hey, man, when I first heard it, I'm like, okay, you got like a Houston vibe. And I went back and listened to some more of your music, and I'm like, okay, this do sound like a Hobson. Because Hobson give me that same vibe with that type of guy. Certain thing will fly over your head.
Yeah.
So people that listen to your music, have they ever compared you to some other rapper or anything like that?
So I get Drake all the time. I get Drake a lot. Actually, like I was letting somebody hear some music the other day, and they thought it was Drake actually. And I don't know if it was the cadence. I don't know how like the tone was in my voice. I don't know, but. Usually it's just Drake,
Have you got that from multiple people or just?
Multiple people. But I feel like that all started really because, so like a lot of my early influences and stuff, it was all artists that like harmonized or sung in their raps. So like I grew up listening to a lot of Nelly, listening to a lot of Ja Rule, Bone Thugs, and so back whenever I first started rapping and doing music, I incorporated that stuff into my music. So a lot of the stuff, a lot of the singing stuff back then, especially like locally, people weren't really like on to it. So whenever Drake came out and he made a big impact, it was Drake. And so, I like to feel like I was out before Drake, even though Drake made a way bigger impact than I did. But, so that's why like a lot of times, anytime people hear my music, they say, oh man, that sounds like something Drake could do. Or man, like, you sound like Drake. And I'm just like, nah, Drake sound like me.
I get that. So let's touch upon the introduction for people that's not real familiar with you. Like, let's touch upon the introduction, like where you from, how you started, what got you into rap music, the whole 9 yards, from the very beginning.
So I was born here in Lake Charles, Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? For as far back as I can remember, bro, like I've always been into music. My mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the family, I either got aunts or uncles that sang, they in the choir, something, So I grew up a huge Michael Jackson fan, Bobby Brown, Immature. I don't know if y'all remember Immature. Batman, Romeo, and LDB.
Well, I know all them. Yeah.
Okay, so I actually grew up as a big R&B fan, with the Whitney Houstons and the Mariah Careys and all that stuff. Like rap really didn't come into play for me at a young age because I wasn't allowed to really listen to a lot of it, So like a lot of the NWAs and all that kind of stuff, like my mom would kill me if she came in the room and heard me listening to that. And so I always just took to the R&B stuff. It was mainly just Michael Jackson. So much to the point to where I had the red jacket on, like with the black high water pants and the white socks, like dancing all the time, dancing in the mirror. And like my mom and my aunts was always telling me stories about me going into Walmart or Kmart, and she can't find me because I'm dancing inside the toy aisle. And everybody's just like, oh my God, look at him, he's so cute, And so, I could do all the routines to all the videos, to Thriller, to the Beat It, to all that kind of stuff. So again, it went from Jackson 5 to Michael Jackson, Bobby Brown, all them guys, back in the day. Always getting in trouble at school because I'm always dancing. I'm always not the class clown, but like me being artistic, because I also draw too. So I was always drawing. I was always doing everything but my work in school, and so I always considered myself an entertainer. I always thought I was gonna be an entertainer. Rap really didn't come into play until I got to high school, and everybody was like banging on the walls inside the little hangout area, and they had some guys in there that was rapping and freestyling, and I guess you could say that I was, I was kind of quiet. Well, not quiet, but I was like a little timid, a little nervous because I didn't know how they was gonna feel about, Lil Dru, because I wasn't always, this, what I'm saying? Like I was skinny at one point, growing up. So I was always kind of shy because I was like, nah, man, I don't think they're gonna like it, what I'm saying? And so, man, one day, bro, I got in front of them boys and I started rapping, and they was like, oh shit, So they gave me a little confidence, but that was just on like some freestyle shit. Like I ain't never like really wrote down nothing before. So I didn't really know when I was really gonna like do music myself, because like I had a lot of cousins and stuff. So the old like tapes where like you put the tape in and you push play and record, so like you can like hear it back to yourself. I used to always like just rap and like just kind of play around with it, and I used to always make track lists of fake albums or whatever that I was gonna make, and I ain't never made no album, you know what I'm saying? Not at no 10 or 11, you know what I'm saying? But I always had it in my mind that I was gonna, do something music related. So, man, one day, bro, I'm sitting in accounting class, bro, and this dude walked up. He was like, man, check out this little rhyme I wrote. So I'm like, all right, And so, man, I read it and I was like, man, I'm thinking to myself, like, I can do that, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it all started. And so I'm from Fisherville. I grew up in Gosport, which is on the north side of Lake Charles, right? And so I actually had a cousin. His name was Fahrenheit 212. Yeah.
Was that his rapper name or his real name?
That was his rapper name.
Okay.
That was his rapper name. But he was the producer, so he was my Logan at that time. He was the dude that had the computer. Like, that was the hangout. That was the spot that everybody went to, like, listen to beats and come up with ideas and all that kind of stuff. And I always trying to pride myself on being different. Now, I hadn't even gotten into really writing yet. I just like being in the environment. So, Hot Water Entertainment, that was the name of it. And man, I had to be like 16, 17 years old. And so I started writing. And at that time, it wasn't necessarily about the creative part of it. It was more about being different than everybody else that was on the song. And because I was fans of a lot of those artists at the time, the Bone Thugs, the Crucial Conflict. I don't know if y'all remember Crucial Conflict.
No, I don't know what that is.
Hey, they made that song, Hey, about the weed. Smoking on, hey, hey.
I wonder if I heard that somewhere.
I mean, it's an old song. But I tried to, implement some of that stuff into my own music. So early on, bro, it was more so about being different. So if you had 3 people on the song and I had the last verse, I was going to kill that last verse. I was going to do something or say something different or sing something or anything for my verse to stand out. And so that's pretty much what I tried to do. early on, and then from there, fast forward, man, I ended up getting a scholarship to play football at McNeese, and I met up with some other guys named Ryan Garrison. Everybody was telling me at practice, like, oh man, everybody say you do music. Everybody say you do music. I said, yeah. He said, bro, you gotta meet up with Ryan Garrison. I didn't know who he was because I was just a freshman. So man, one day, bro, we out there doing some off-season workouts, bro. Like our strength coach had us out there pulling trucks. I mean, you know, like just doing some crazy stuff. And it just so happened that God wanted me to pair up with him. And man, we out there pushing them trucks, bro. And I'm just like, you know, I'm breathing hard. I'm like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? And then apparently somebody told him about Dru the same way they told me about him. And so once he put two and two together, he said, oh wait, man, you Dru? He's like, yeah. He said, oh, dog, I'm Ryan, come to the crib. And so, bro, like, we formed a little group on campus. And so again, I wanted to be the best one in the group. Everything I did, I tried to master, I tried to perfect, I tried to like stand out, you know, just with my words. Now, again, all the metaphors and punchlines and stuff, all that stuff hadn't come into play yet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was probably with them dudes, man. I mean, I'm still cool with them to this day, actually. I was just hanging out with them the other day. But so during that time, I was going through a lot of stuff. I was going through female problems. I mean, me being in college, man, you know, you do dumb stuff. Like,
we all do.
Who did?
Get involved with, get involved with stuff, dog. And like, I realized that I had a niche for like expressing myself by talking about things that's going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? And like with women, which we'll kind of get into like the Drake comparison with that too later on. But a lot of my songs that was away from, you know, me just trying to be the most impactful person on the verse, and it was something that was coming from the heart or talking about something that was going on in my life at that time, those happen to be some of the best songs, like some of the best stuff that I ever put out, and some of the songs that everybody liked the most. And so all the punchlines and the style that I have perfected, I guess you can say, at this point, at this time in my life with the music, came from my boy Mike Stevens. You know, I know we talked about a lot of mics over the last couple days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of mics to keep up.
Yeah, but my boy Mike Stevens, he another childhood friend. You know, he another childhood friend, man. We grew up playing basketball and stuff together. His mom and my mom actually worked together. That's how I met him. And man, it was right around the time that the Lil Wayne Carter 2 album came out. And I was a huge Lil Wayne fan. I'm talking about like Hot Boys Lil Wayne, you know, why? They see me creeping through the bag in a black on black list, right? Mm-hmm. So I was a huge fan of that Wayne. Quick story, I ain't never told nobody this, by the way.
Oh, he ain't never told nobody this.
So I was early on in high school, whenever I was trying to find my identity as an artist, as a rapper or R&B, or whatever it was. I was seeing this little chick, you know, this little high school fling, like, well, nothing. And Lil Wayne had a song on the Hot Boys album, because, you know, all the Hot Boys, they all had their own little solo songs on every album that they came out with. And Wayne had his song on there. Now, people in Louisiana hadn't caught up to Hot Boys yet. So, long story short, I lied and said I was Lil Wayne. Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. How the hell did that flew? Like, how the hell people bought that shit? Like,
well, the girl was a white girl, so she didn't know no better.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? She didn't know no better. Oh, that's you? I said, yeah, that's me. And look, so like, I was really creative. With the art and all that stuff, and like, I knew how to like print up tapes and all that kind of stuff. So I took a picture of myself in the mirror. I cropped myself out. And I put, by the way, my old rap name was Diamond D, by the way.
Okay.
Diamond D.
Diamond
D. Okay. Definitely got away from that shit. So I had Diamond D on the little cassette tape, and I gave it to her. And everybody was like, oh, that. Well, first she heard it. She was like, man, that's you? So she ran with it. She started telling everybody, oh, man, Dru raps. He raps, listen to his song. Then she ran across some brothers that knew. You know what I'm saying? He was like, wait a minute.
That's Lil Wayne, huh?
That's Lil Wayne. So, of course, I got confronted about it, and I was like, no, it's not. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not. So that's what really prompted me to be like, okay, now I really got to do this shit for real. And so that was back around like the hot water time and stuff. You know, I was with Fahrenheit and all them boys. So back to my college days. Back to Mike Stevens. So the Lil Wayne album came out. First, he had the Carter One. The Carter One album, to me, I was confused because that was the first time that I heard him rapping different, like on like some metaphors. Like I was like, man, this ain't the same Lil Wayne that I know. Like, man, what is he? You know, because Wayne went to New York at that time. He started hanging out with Jim Jones and Joel Santana and all that. So that's how he adapted that style. But us in Louisiana, we didn't know what the hell he was doing when he came out with the Carter One. When really, the Carter Two was the game changer in my eyes, because the Carter Two was like, he was slowly perfecting that style. So Mike Stevens was the one that put me on to the Carter Two. And we was at his mama's house, man, we was playing Madden. And this was whenever, like, I think the PS2 had first came out. I'll never forget, we sitting there playing Madden, and the Carter 2 was playing in the background. And I'm like, I'm asking him, I'm like, dog, do you understand what he's saying? And so he was like, yeah, dog, come on, like, you know, get up on this shit. And I'm just like, okay, well, whatever. So then he was like, man, I rap too. I'm like, okay, everybody rap. Okay, cool, whatever. So I brought him to my boy Ryan Garrison house, the dudes that I play ball with. Mike Stevens come over there, and he say a line that fucked my head up. He said something along the lines of, I'm smoking y'all boys, and on my road Dutchess, I break both your legs and make you hold crutches. And I was like, ooh.
Man, that's a ball.
Yeah, and he said something about, your girl love barbecue, so I put my meat on a grill. Now, today, that's mid.
That's mid.
But this was in 2002. You know what I'm saying? I think it was 2002. Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God. I was mind blown. So he bought some equipment and he said, hey, bro, let's just make an album together or a mixtape. I'm just like, at the time, I'm like, nigga, I can't rap with you. At that time, I'm like, man, I can't rap with you. So me and him came out with a project called The Reckoning. And man, I remember going inside that closet, man, like he had it decked out. He had these black curtains up inside the closet, and he spray painted and airbrushed a bunch of his lines and a bunch of my lines and a bunch of Ryan Garrison's lines and everybody else that was in the clique at that time. And he had a black light in there, so whenever you was in there rapping, all the lights was off, all your lyrics just glowed. So I was like, oh yeah, this is dope right here. You know what I'm saying? So whenever me and him made that project, he pushed me to be better than I was, because I always had the mindset that I'm not gonna let you out-rap me. I always had that mindset. I just couldn't figure out how. And so I still feel like he had some of the best bars and the best verses at that time. So I slowly started perfecting it here and there. I came out with another project called My Explanation, and this was one of my most prized possessions. And by the way, this is a lot of stuff that a lot of people hadn't heard, by the way, because this is like young Diamond D. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dru hadn't came into play yet. You know, and so everybody was asking me like, dog, like, why you named Diamond D? I was like, I don't know. I mean, I came up with it when I was 14 years old. So then I dropped the D, and I went from Diamond D to Diamond. And I didn't realize that was actually worse. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody thought I was a stripper. You know what I'm saying? So the people who didn't put a face with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, bro, you heard that Diamond? Because I think Nuck If You Buck around that time was out too. Nuck If You Buck. And I think they had an artist in their group. Called Diamond too. So I was like, dang. So I just roll with it. Bro. But the My Explanation project, that was a project I recorded on Hodges Street with Sean Caesar. You know, I haven't seen Sean in a while. Sean, if you're listening, if you're watching this, bro, I hope you're good. But Sean would leave me in the studio a lot.
Oh, Sean Caesar. That's what you say?
Sean Caesar?
Yeah, that's the one I did. I'm telling you, that's the one I did the music with. Like when they make me drop the Haitian verse on that.
On Hodges
That's
Street?
the one we did the when we remember we got the
I
little
remember the little house y'all went to?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's a while back. That was a
Shit, I
while
haven't
back.
heard of Sean either. Yeah.
That's a while back.
Yeah, that was a way. I'm talking about like at least 10 years ago.
He had aspiration to be a rapper.
Yeah.
We all told him he was so.
Oh
so
man,
he
Jesus, it was never like that.
But
bro.
yeah, don't interrupt
Logan
the
did
man.
some work with him
I mean,
too.
it's a real rapper, man. Don't do that.
But don't
man.
interrupt the man. Like you weren't a rapper. Like you tried. But
Hey, man.
hey man, you
Hey,
tried.
They asked the
man,
man
live,
to drop an Haitian ball,
let me
Haitian
tell him
verse,
about
and I did. And that shit was legit. Haters gonna hate. Keep going, bro.
Yeah, you already interrupted me about the earrings thing the other day.
Man, that don't be some bullshit. Somebody gotta keep him humble.
It's all good.
Oh yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, man. So Sean had a lot of stuff going on outside the studio. So Sean would lock me in the studio and say, "Look, man, I'm gonna show you how to do this. You know, push record here, do this, do that." The problem was where I had to control, you know, all the volumes and everything on the monitor was separate from where I had to record. So it's not like I'm pushing record and I'm recording right here. I had to push the button and run into the studio to record.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't even know about this, but I came out with like a mixtape over other people's beats and instrumentals, and that was my experiment with the punchlines. And I freestyled most of it because at the time I didn't have no girlfriend, I didn't have no kids, I didn't have nothing going on. So I was like, bro, I could spend my whole day here. I could spend my whole, you know, all day long. I could just sit here and just experiment with stuff. And I would just sit there and I would just think, and I would perfect it. And then, boom, I hit record and I'd run in there. You know, I set me up enough time and I would come back and I would cut it and I would do all this other stuff. Now, all the detailed stuff as far as like the mixing and all that, man, I just winged that shit. I didn't care how it sounded. I was just, you know, just trying to get it out. But that's like a 20-song project that I put out that like really helped me master like my style, I guess you can say, in terms of like using the punchlines and all that kind of stuff. So after that, I get a phone call from one of my homeboys, Colin LeBlue, which is actually Logan's uncle. He said, yeah, man, I got a nephew that loves your music. And so again, I'm like, okay, cool. He also does music. I'm like, here we go. Okay, cool. But when I heard his music, I was like, oh shit, like, how old is he? He's like, oh man, he only like 14, 15. I was like, ain't no way. He's like, yeah. Then he say, and all the beats that you hear, he made the beats too. I was like, what? So I was like, okay. And I never forget the day that he first came to my house. I was living off a country club, and he walked in, and, you know, I kind of met him or whatever. And man, we had, you know, good conversation, good chemistry, and like the type of music that he was making was the same kind of music that I was on. So, you know, I was like, okay, cool. I saw a younger version of me. Now, by this time, shit, how old are you? 31. So, 33.
Man,
You don't know how
that's not even close.
Yeah. Boy,
So-
I think Logan got too much to drink. But we
Yeah,
need to
man,
slow
hey,
down.
for people that don't see, we got the producer right there. Like the guy he's talking about is behind the camera. Y'all can't see him. He's like literally right there,
Hey,
right
man,
next
shout
to
out
him.
to Logan Chapman.
And he got-
Oh,
yeah.
Logan Chapman, man.
And he got a big old bottle next to him too. That's why he's talking about
Yeah,
this.
that's why he said he was 30, and he was like, "Nah, I'm 33."
Yeah.
And he had to count on his hand too, like.
Man, that's a count, man. Okay, but
Yeah,
let's
anyway.
get back on track.
So I was older than him. But I saw a younger version of me in him because of the same type of music. Like, you know, I never wanted to ask anybody for no hooks or no choruses. I wanted to do it myself because I wanted to sing on the choruses. Like, I couldn't wait for the chorus to come because that was my highlight. You know, I'm gonna shine on the chorus and I'm gonna say some dope shit on the verse too. So that's what I always, you know, took pride in, and I heard that a lot in him. So, man, from there, really, the rest was really history because a lot of who I am today is because of him. I mean, I've been knowing him since he was, 14, 15, and y'all heard him. He said he 30 or 33. I don't know.
One of them.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah,
We're still trying to figure it out.
yeah. So that's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
So I just told y'all, a bunch of different people that I've switched up with, since the time that I was 14, and since the time I met him, I haven't switched up since. See what I'm saying? So that should tell you a lot about
The chemistry y'all got.
the chemistry, you know what I'm saying, the love I got for him, my trust in him in terms of like, if I asked him to jump on a song, if I asked him to sing something, record me, mix, master, whatever it is, like I trust him to do it exactly how I like it because he and I have been working for so long. So yeah, man, that's the origin of Dru.
And I got another question I got to ask you also. Because throughout your introduction, you pretty much said like how whenever you grew up, like you used to be like an R&B type of, fan. You never had a chance to really listen to rap because you weren't allowed to do it in your house. But I've never seen you perform. Now the thing is, whenever you perform, how do you perform? Like, do you dance? Do you do like a little bit of usher with it type of thing?
I definitely don't dance, bro.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, nah. But like, it's crazy you say that though, because I wasn't able or allowed to listen to the West Coast because they were so vulgar, and there
That's
was
for
rapping,
sure.
there was cursing, and there was
Talking about murder and shooting and
fuck
killing
the
people and all that
police,
stuff.
yeah, and all that stuff. I catered more to the people like Nelly or like Bad Boy, because Bad Boy back then.
Yeah,
Diddy
yeah,
back
yeah.
then.
No
You know what
Diddy
I'm saying?
now.
No Diddy now. But record label wise, bro, Diddy did some cool shit with a lot of
for
dope
sure.
artists at that time, and so their vibe was the colorful outfits and the videos and the lights and the dancing and the energy and all that stuff. So I was like, ooh, that's what I like. And then I became a huge fan of Timbaland too. So Timbaland with Aaliyah, Missy Elliott, Bubba Sparks.
Yeah, Timbaland was cold.
Yeah.
Timbaland
So
was
like,
cold.
I became a fan of them. So, but to answer your question, nah, I ain't never danced.
Yeah, but to backpedaling of his question, I mean, you say you dance like
As a kid,
the
you was
Michael
dancing in
Jackson
Walmart
and all
everywhere.
that, and all of
Now,
that.
don't get me wrong, I can dance.
But
So,
you
I
just
mean-
don't perform and dance with it.
I mean, I don't dance while I rap. I mean, I may feel it, and I may shoulder shrug a little bit. I may bob my head a little hard, or if I have a song that's a dance song, then boom, I may give you a little bit. But I'm not out there doing no choreography or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
That's what I pictured in my mind. Like I was dancing everywhere. I'm like,
I ain't
okay.
doing none of that. You know what I'm saying?
So when you your song, do you never like, because I know they got a lot of rappers. I know these days that's what's selling, like, gang related, like, murder or, talking about like killing people and shit.
like that,
Even
yeah.
though some of those rappers, it's not about that life,
But they do it. That's
but
what
they
selling.
do it. So it's like, it was like you like more like conscious rap, because I love Absent because he's more like talking about.
Shit that makes sense. Shit people can relate to life-wise.
know what I'm saying?
As a growing up, because the only thing I kind of touched up on Hobson, when not to interrupt you though,
you good.
but like I always say, Hobson is gonna be the most underrated rapper that ever lived. I don't care what anybody got to say. I genuinely believe that. It doesn't matter what kind of song this dude drop. It's kind of like you get the message, and then that's kind of relate to what you were saying. Like when I was listening to your song, I'm like, okay, this would kind of give me a vibe of Hobson. At first it sounded like Houston, but now that you're telling me it's Drake, I'm gonna go back and double check without to see what the hell I missed.
Yeah, but so when I was saying, so listen to Hobson. I love Hobson 7. I think he was legit, the whole God thing. But when you writing or when you singing, what you like the most proud of is just, do you do like about women, or do you feel like you like to see what's going on, or do you feel like how can I say it, like
Like, do you write from inspiration,
Yeah,
or
inspiration.
you just freestyle? Like, do like the Jay-Z type of shit. You just show up, listen to the beat, and you run with it type of thing.
So it's a little bit of both. Like I said, so at this point, I like to just prove how in depth I can really be. So I try to prove a point by showing like, hey, like I can really rap. You know
But
what
what's
I'm
the
saying?
message about though?
Well, that's why I say it's a little bit of both. See, because I have songs where, you know, there's an underlying message. I have songs that it's a very direct message. And I have songs that I'm just trying to prove that I'm just the best rapper that y'all ever heard. See what I'm saying? But I only do those types of versatile, wild varieties whenever I'm doing an album. So if I'm doing a song, that's just based off of inspiration. You know, that comes from me maybe hearing like a dope beat, and right away I could be like, okay, I'm rapping about this on this song. Or, you know, I hear something a little soft, I could say, okay, this could be about a female or whatever, right? But a lot of times, like I said, a lot of my music come from experience. Like, you know, like Drake. Drake name dropped a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like girls and women. He even got sued because he just, you know, put some a voice recording in a
that
song
nigga
before,
wild.
you know.
He
So
wild.
I do stuff like that. The problem is I'm not Drake, you know. So I think that I'm making an impact. Like, yeah, you know, I'm talking about this that happened 2 years ago, you know, and I'll throw a girl name in there, and I'm like, got you. You know what I'm saying? But you got like thousands of people who ain't heard of me or her. I mean, somebody will feel it because they can relate to whatever I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the impact that I think I'm having, you know, maybe to her, I forget that my audience may not know who the hell I'm talking about or what I'm talking about.
And I got another. Oh no, go ahead. I thought you wouldn't do. You were done.
Oh no, yeah. So that's basically it. It just, you know, I just the inspiration just comes from all different directions. Like the other day, whenever you and I talked, I said how, you know, I can sit in a room and I can be super observant with everything that's in the room. I could be talking to you, or I can listen to what y'all saying, and I could be, you know, seeing something over here, or I can hear something, or just something will pop up in my brain that I could use on a verse. And it's like, oh, so my inspiration just comes from all over the place. I'm a scatterbrain, basically. You know,
Got you.
That goes all the way back to me in school. You know, I'm supposed to be paying attention in school, and I'm drawing trucks and cars and stuff like that. You know, but I think a lot of, not to get too off base, but I think a lot of creative people. I was actually just having a conversation with somebody. I think a lot of creative people get bored easily. I don't know if you like that, Logan. A lot of creative people get bored easily. So, like, I feel like that's why, like, you know, just away from the music, I feel like I'm never satisfied with a lot of stuff because I get bored fast. Like, if it's a song, like, if I hear it too much, I'm going to find something in it that I don't like. I'm like, oh, no, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
Just to touch up on that a little bit, you're a rapper. And I know this guy that used to be my barber, and then he was kind of like, that was way back then. He was like, he wanted to become a rapper also. And I remember one time he was cutting my hair, and then he was listening to a song. I think he was listening to You Don't Even Know It by Future. And then he was like listening to a ball. He was like, man, I could have done a better job. And but back then, I'm always thinking, okay, well, shit, do your thing with it. And then when I came back, I heard his verse, and I'm like, shit, the little motherfucker go hard. And I don't want to put you in a position where you got to throw shade toward other people. Mm-hmm. But what song that's been popping, everybody know about, that you heard and you felt like, shit, I could have done a whole lot better job than so-and-so? I know you got one. Shit, you probably got way more than one.
Put them in on the spot.
That's why I said.
A lot of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But give me one example.
Any Sexy Red or Megan Thee Stallion song. And I say that, and look, I'm just not a fan of female rappers. I'm just not a fan of them.
You don't like Glorilla? I mean, I fuck with Glorilla a little bit.
No, her either. So you add her on to that too.
Okay, I fuck with Glorilla a little
Megan Thee
bit.
Stallion. The only one that's okay is Cardi, but I'm just not a fan of female
So
rappers.
what about Nicki Minaj?
Her neither. She the worst.
Nicki in the beginning, back in the early 2010s.
Ooh, I don't know about
Diddy
all.
on him went hard. You gotta give Diddy on him some credit.
I think songwriting wise, I mean, you know, putting together like a good song where she can show her versatility and sing too, I think those are her best records. I feel like, you know, those songs where she tries to like be too hard and she get into that Barbie role and she's starting.
Yeah, I don't fuck with none of that bullshit.
I hate that. I'm just like, What
Yeah,
else?
Because I was a Nicki fan.
But that's a female version of it, though. I mean, at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying, but it's just like still hard, but in a female version of it. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I mean, I love Nicki, you know, even though if you're gonna compare, Cardi B is good, but I think if I had to choose somebody, I think Nicki
Yeah,
is
I
the
feel like
GOAT.
Nicki is the OG. Because back
Yeah,
in
to me.
2010, when Nicki first came out, she went hard. I mean, when she got into the whole Barbie shit, I was like, I'm good with all that.
I mean, look, Nicki's not bad. I've never been a fan of female rappers. Now, to Nicki's credit, she does have more substance than a lot of the other female rappers, because a lot of the other female rappers, their go-to is just talking about sex. And,
Yeah.
That's pretty much all of them. I feel like
Yeah.
Cardi's
So,
leading the line with all that shit.
that's why,
Megan,
like-
Cardi, all of them.
That's why, like, I'm not really a fan of female
So,
rappers.
but you know, nowadays we can talking about some shit like this. You'd be surprised. You be named feminism. You know what I'm saying? Like we trying to, but it's not. I mean, you
Because
got
somebody
your
might
own.
see that shit and be like, okay, man, this man don't like women or something.
You know what I'm saying? But it's still at the end of the day,
right.
it's still your opinion. There is nothing
Right,
wrong having
right,
an
right.
opinion. You don't have to like, you know.
Yeah, this ain't one of the things where I'm saying, you know, women aren't supposed to do something or women don't do something better than men or anything like that. It's just, you know, my personal preference.
Yes.
With music is, I prefer to hear men rappers than women, because I feel like a lot of women, their content and subject matter is watered down to sex.
You're
like
right.
in every woman verse, you're gonna hear something about how good she do this.
Yeah, but I
she's
think
a
I
bad
think it's
bitch,
I
you
think
know,
I
and
think
all
it's
that type of
because
shit,
I think
yeah.
it's because like
That's
to
what's
go back,
selling.
that's what's selling. I think that's what's messed up about it. It's not the something like, you know, consciousness, something like people can like learn from. It's just something. It's just the bullshit. Like, you know, like I mean, I don't think there is nothing like, oh my God, oh yeah, that's so good. But a lot of those females love this shit for some reason. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's selling, because we're like, pretty much like you're saying, women, especially as a rapper, if you want to make it into the game, it's kind of like you got a range. It's either talking about how much you're a bad bitch or how good you are at sex or how you stealing people's man, you fucking that bitch man, all that stuff. It's that you got that small range.
Even like Foxy
You can't
Brown,
go past that.
Foxy Brown and Lil Kim back in the day. They was on the same stuff. Now I am a fan of Young M.A.
That's my bitch.
I
That's
am
my
a fan of
bitch.
her,
That's
though.
my people that knows me. They know I fuck with Young M.A. That's for
I
sure.
just- I
and I
like
feel like
the
that's
way you-
also she's extremely underrated. Also.
Oh yeah, extremely
Young
underrated.
M.A. Oh yeah, that's my bitch.
But
I like the way you say that.
I mean, shit. What you want to say? But that's my dude. You remember that, my nigga?
I just said, bro. I just said. I mean, I don't really give a shit, but I get where you're coming from.
Cause Young M.A. like if you like I listen to Young M.A. hard. People that knows me, they'll tell you like at the gym I'm running, I fuck with Young M.A. all day. Cause she's like a EMC.
right,
She don't be talking about that low
Right.
range shit. I guess the fact that she's gay, I don't know, well attracted towards women, that give her that range to do other shit that most women are doing. But I fuck with Young M.A. all day.
like I feel like
Trap or cap.
the other women that
my
try to
favorite
be
shit.
tough, I don't believe it. But Young M.A., I feel like she'll do something to me. You know what I'm saying? Like if she like, yo, like just how she say stuff, I believe it. I'm like, oh yeah, like she really about that.
Oh, yeah.
And I could be dead wrong, but I'm just telling you the vibe that I get from her.
The same here.
Everything that she raps about is more believable than.
See, I don't listen to like I don't know for some reason like coming here. I love rap. I'm a big fan of rap, but I just love Haitian rap. Like I'm a big fan. Like I'm a big fan. Like back in the days rap. You know, like those mumble rap and shit like this. I'm not into this thing. So that's why like nowadays I barely listen to any other rap because I'm more like, you know, I grew up with my dad and he liked to listen to some fucking like soft French songs, you know what I'm saying? Like opera type shit, like, you know. So I grew up in those, not even R&B, I'm talking about those female type songs. That's what my dad used to listen to. So then when Haitian rap come to the picture, man, I was like hooked to this shit. You know what I'm saying? I love Haitian rap. Even though like I see people that listen to those rap here, and even though like I don't like it, but it's the same concept in Haiti, and I love it. I don't know it's because it's my language and I understand it.
I think you're being biased, and I can relate to it also because I feel like 'cause when we grew up in Haiti, like in the mid 2000s, there was like doing Haitian rap. started going crazy. It's kind of like they were copying what was happening in America, and then doing the Haitian version of it.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like whenever somebody's dropping a ball, like you said back in the early 2000s, when somebody says some shit, you got to think about it. It'd be like, God damn, that's a ball.
Yeah.
And that's the type of rap I grew up listening and liking. And then of course we got to America. We learned how to speak English and everything, and I started listening to certain rappers like the Eminem, the Hops.
That's the kind of rap I like.
To where I can just put my headphones in on a plane, chilling, and then I feel like I'm reading a book while I'm listening to them or whatever, because like they saying something.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Migos fan because I don't want to make it seem like I'm throwing shade at them. Like the Migos, they go hard. You at the club, you went to you go to a concert, they go hard.
But it's the beat though.
It's the beat. It's the rhythm that like you just want to turn up to it.
Yeah, but it's nothing
if you
like
listen to the lyric. That's
what I'm saying. That's my whole point about it.
So let me say this. Just to clarify, I'm a fan of everybody. I'm a fan of every form of rap. You know, I don't hate on a certain type of rap, but it's just my preference.
Everybody got preferences.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my preference because the things that inspired me growing up was a certain type, which is why, you know, I rap the way I rap, or I do music the way that I do my music because of the stuff that I grew up listening to. Like prime example, like Patti LaBelle, like Anita Baker, the Spinners. Like those are all people from like the 60s and 70s that whenever I was, you know, my mom told me to vacuum the rug, she had that shit playing in the background.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the same thing with my dad. That's the same kind of song I was listening to.
So it's like my mind was like already like on a broader scale. So whenever I decided to do music, I knew I was gonna do some different shit. And I'm not saying that the mumble rap stuff, you know, those people aren't, you know,
to me, they're not. I mean, I'm being honest. I'm not trying to sugarcoat nothing because the minute you got the beat, even me right now with my fucked up language, you drop a mumble English, all I have to do is say and I got a hit.
They got the same.
I'm just saying, bro, because at the end of the day, like when you listen to like somebody like Absent or Lil Wayne, sometimes you're like, damn, whoa, stop that. Let me. Sometimes me personally, because of my English and my language barrier, sometimes I have to watch subtitle to see exactly what they saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember back in the days, bro, don't get me wrong, we listened to a lot of American music. Bro, I thought I know what they were saying.
But you didn't.
But when I come here, bro, I mean, I gotta, whatever you hear and you sound it, and that's the English word for me. When I come here, bro, I see the subtitle when I speak English, it was nothing like that, bro. There is nothing compared to it. I mean, I was saying bullshit.
Yeah.
But that's the, like, you know, in Haiti, because we listen to Spanish, all type of music, you know what I'm saying? But I think mumble rap is just...
So you saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Back whenever you didn't really understand a lot of English words, you enjoyed the music for the beat
rhythm.
maybe.
The beat making, yes.
And then whenever you understood more English words, you realized a lot of people wasn't saying shit.
They weren't saying shit, basically the same thing. And that's kind of like with the Migos. And like I said, no shades for the Migos. Like clearly everybody know about the Migos. Like, and that fun, you know one thing I always take pride in, I knew about the Migos before most people didn't know about them. Like, I got a cousin that can attest to this. I don't know if there's this old ass song. Them guys even looked broke in the video. And they were talking about Katrina, Kofima, Hurricane Risk. It looked like the video itself looked like it got recorded from a flip phone. That's how old it was.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like jamming that shit. I'm like, oh shit, the motherfuckers jam. Yeah. Even though that shit they talking about make no sense, but shit, I'm vibing to this shit.
Yeah.
And then give it a year or two later, everybody knew about the Migos.
I remember they changed the game though.
And I always took pride in saying, hey, I know about the Migos before most people even knew about them.
Yeah.
But still, at the same time, whenever you listen to this shit, it's kind of like, they ain't saying shit though. If I'm not in the mood to vibe and dance and turn up, I can't listen to that shit.
Man, I feel like it's a copycat industry though. Like, it's easy to just do what the other person's doing. And like, in a way, that's a good strategy because like, you know that it's working.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I follow that pattern? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people's attention span is so small to where like some people like Hobson or like the Eminems or like Joyner Lucas, he another one that I like.
Yeah, I love Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, so like those type of artists, like they don't get enough credit because people don't sit there long
Will
enough
Aouf too is pretty good too.
Who that?
Will Aouf, I think his name is. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. I always fucked up the English words. Walla Wolf, I think he said something like
Yellow Wolf?
yellow.
Did you say what the fuck you said before that?
Don't worry about it, what I said. Whatever he said. Whatever he said.
Hey,
We're going to go by whatever he said.
What he said and what you said.
Hey.
I know about Yellow Wolf.
Yeah.
But what the fuck this dude was saying wasn't that?
Hey, why you think I said like this? You know what I mean?
just said the closest thing that
I said
sounded
wolf.
like.
Yeah, I said wolf. Did we hear
That's
wolf?
the beauty of shit.
Did
the
we
fact
wolf?
that a lot of time he say shit people don't quite get. They say, man, people that be like, hey man, that to be talking about some shit. Sometimes he say some shit, it take me a second for me to catch him. But that's
Hey, you know what?
20 seconds of
Funny
video
thing is,
what the
so many
fuck
times,
going on.
I mean, I don't get offended by it.
Me neither.
At the end of the day, I'm not from here. I'm speaking English. But a lot of time people be like, oh shit, I'm trying to translate in my head. Even though it sounds so fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I get it. You know, at the end of the day, Yellow Wolf is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I said. But the man said better than me.
That ain't what he said, but hey, we like people saying, because we got that problem a lot. Because a lot of time, because I got him a bit younger than he was, so therefore it's kind of like my shit is a bit more fluent than his. But trust me, that dude is miles ahead of a lot of people. Because unless you understand the immigrant world, people that came in at a certain age, because I know people that have been living within this country for like 20, 30 years, and they can even...
Who you talking about?
Talking speaking
We're talking
English.
about speaking English, so that's what we touched it up on.
Yeah.
Just quick, like just to show you, like I know his accent can be bad. Mine also, because like I tell people, when I get angry, I don't even speak English no more. Whatever the fuck I speak ain't even English. But it's because we speaking, you speak, right? To you it's easy. You just fly out with it. To us, we're like constantly translating our head as we're speaking. So it's kind of like our brain is working double time. So a lot of time, if I'm speaking too fast, or I may mispronounce a word. But just let's get back to the matter at hand.
Let me piggyback on what you just said though. I understand what y'all said or what you said.
Yeah.
You know why? So growing up, I stuttered real bad. Okay? And I kind of still do. People that stutter, they have to find ways to hide the stutter. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, if I can't say a certain word or if I can't begin a sentence with a word that has a letter that I can't say, whether it's a W or an S, we'll say unnecessary words in between to get it out. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I was young, it was bad. It was like, you know what I'm saying?
Know that.
Oh, bro. People made fun of me. You know, I got clowned all
But
that.
think about it. You came from somebody that stuttered to a rapper. That's like shit. An ocean of a difference.
So that's
But
crazy
people that stutter, no, they can sing, they don't stutter. That's crazy.
But
When you think about it.
crazy thing is, which I'll get to the music part of it, but whenever I was younger and people was clowning, people made fun or whatever, right? And I got, uncles and aunts, my grandmother, and my dad, they all stuttered a little bit too, so it was inherited. The thing is like over time, you find new ways to hide it. So the way that I was hiding my stutter back in 2000 ain't the way that I hid it in 2012, ain't the way that I hide it today. So you may be able to hear a little bit of it. You probably wouldn't have even known if I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know that at all. That's why I'm saying, like you saying that it.
Yeah, but now that I'm saying it, you might hear a little bit of it. See what I'm saying? But when rapping, this is something that he don't even know. It's something that Logan don't even know. So when I rap, obviously, I don't stutter because I know what I'm going to say already, right? But if I'm reading my raps, if I say, hey, bro, dog, check out this. If I'm reading it, I know that there's a certain word or a certain letter that I can't say while I'm reading it. And I can't put in those fill-in words because it's not what I wrote on the paper. So I can't be like, yo, I'm coming through, you know what I mean? And I'm done because that's not in there. So a lot of times, I struggle with saying the rap versus just rapping it on beat. He never noticed it unless you did. So I understand what you're saying about your brain working double time.
It does. Like, and to touch up on those certain words you got to stay away from. And a lot of time people hear me and they're like, okay, you got a bit of an accent, but you speak fluently, though, and all that type of stuff. But just to touch up on sometimes you stay away from certain words because you just know I'm not going to be able to pronounce it right. So it's kind of like you come up with another word to avoid saying that word.
Right.
And the word that I struggle with, and this, I'm sure you're going to laugh at me when I say that word, category. Now, I can't say it. Believe it or not, I used to just be walking from school and be saying that word and repeat. Because for some reason, I used to say category. And it took me a while for my brain to register its category.
Like to let it roll.
Yeah.
Let it roll.
And it's so simple to you, I'm sure, and him
yeah.
and whoever else speak English, but for some reason I struggle like a motherfucker with that word. And I'm talking about, it took me about 2 years to, if I ain't got shit going on, I say it over and over and over and over and over and over again till I can say it. So in that sense, I never stuttered, but that word, I had an issue with it. I don't know why. But
Yeah, my biggest problem me in English is my R. It sounds like W. So if I say Willie, the guy always said, my name is not Willie. So, I mean, I think I'm saying Willie, but it sounds like, with a W. So that's my biggest, but it's okay though.
Well, look, I tell you what. I mean, as soon as y'all open y'all's mouth, we can tell y'all from Haiti, right? So anybody who's speaking to y'all, if you say a word wrong or mispronounce a word or whatever, like they should understand, like that you're.
man, that's what you
Yeah. And I mean,
That's what you
Now,
think.
if you just just a regular, like.
but don't get me wrong here.
from
I mean,
here-
I'm gonna give it to the American people. Since you're talking, the language is never really like it's a way of communication. I always think language is a way of communication. As long as I can understand and the people take the time, even though you might say something that's funny, because even though if you say you're trying to speak French, I'll probably start laughing too because the words you're gonna be saying they're gonna be
be
off
all
the wall.
fucked up,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? But I understand what you're trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I see somebody that's a guy at work trying to tell me he said this shit like 7 times. And the whole time I said, man, just tell me in English what you're trying to say. And when he said it, I bust out laughing because it didn't sound nothing like, something I know. So it's the same. It go both
It's
ways.
the same thing, but I feel like some people never got exposed to that type of stuff because English is the only language, and you live within a country that speaks English only. So therefore, you say something, people understand it. And when they encounter somebody that got, I guess you may say, like a little bit of an accent, which they can make fun of it. Don't bother me. Sometimes I laugh with them, just like I was laughing about him saying, "What the fuck you said? Whatever the fuck you said."
Don't worry
wasn't
about what
Yellow
I
Wolf.
said, man. He said Yellow Wolf. That's what I said.
But that ain't what the fuck you said. But let's get back on track.
Agree to disagree. So,
Well, honestly, I didn't think you say Yellow Wolf because, like,
I
That
said,
ain't what
well,
he said.
man, we're not gonna go back to what I
mean,
said.
I don't.
He said Yellow Wolf. That's what I just said so low he
That's
couldn't
what he
hear what
was
I said.
trying to say, but you said Yellow Wolf. Hey, let's just get back
Agree
on
to
track
disagree.
here,
Let's
man.
go back on track, bro.
Let's get back on track. I got to ask you a question. Just like one thing you said earlier, but like as you were growing up, a lot of people were rapping. Like he was rapping, she was rapping. Everybody wanted to be a rapper. And I've met beside the other guy that I met, and I've also heard of another rapper. As a matter of fact, I've listened to a girl from out here. Her shit goes hard, bro. Like she remind me of Boosie. Fuck, I'd have to call my ex to get that name from her because she made me listen to it. I'm like, her shit go hard. It's kind of like one of them. When I'm cold, rock me down, type of shit to it. When you listen to it, you're like, man, that Boosie vibe. Like, that shit hit the club, I'm going to lose my shit. But I can't think of a name. But just to get back within the question I'm trying to ask, what differs you from all the other rappers around here? Because you don't really sound like somebody that raps from Lake Charles. Shit, you don't even sound like that's somebody that raps from Louisiana, period.
Man, I just take my time, man. I take my time and I pride myself on being different. I pride myself on being different, bro. Like, it's easy to go along with what everybody else is doing, and no shade on anybody, but when you look at the masses and who has really succeeded following the same wave that's been going on for the last 25, 30 years, there ain't nobody that really popped. And even though I hadn't taken the step that I want to take ultimately either, I always felt like they can go over there and do that, hundreds, thousands, however, whatever. I'm going to be over here and I'm going to do this because I feel like globally there's more people that's going to relate to my style of music and what I'm saying versus something locally here that people only in Louisiana are going to feel. And that's no knock on anybody because Louisiana got some dope artists. Lake Charles got some talent. I'm talking about dope artists that I've had on my albums, that I've been on their albums. Like, I call them and text them all the time about verses and all that. But if I even tried to write one of them songs, I couldn't. Like, I have to call them to come and do a hook or, hey, bro, you got a beat like this? Because I want to show my versatility too. Like, hey, like, I could rap on that. I just can't come up with it because my brain don't work that way.
I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like if you try to put Eminem on a Boosie song.
That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. So you even tell me you've encountered certain beats you just couldn't get on because like your brain wouldn't know how to get on it.
Like the one thing that changed my perspective on a lot of that stuff, even though like I've always tried to be, different and stand out on songs, ever since, as far back as I can remember. I feel like life experiences and traveling and getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of your surroundings and, like going to see stuff, going to see the world, talking to different people, talking to people that's doing more than you, talking to people who are like in circles, that like have the same goals and dreams or have the same style. Even like with clothes. So something that frustrates me a lot is like I'll try some different shit, like fashion-wise. And you'll see, NBA players, entering the arena, WNBA players entering the arena, NFL players. And a lot of times you get people be like, man, what the hell this dude wearing? You know what I'm saying? Y'all might do that too. I don't know.
Yeah.
You might be like, man, what the hell this dude? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, bro, like, where in the life manual or in the fashion manual where it says you have to wear a t-shirt, a pair of pants, shoes, and you have to wear it like this?
Yeah, but
for 10, 20, 30 years, you cannot evolve.
Because fashion changed, you're right. Fashion changed.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do different stuff. You can't experiment.
Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from with that because, I always say that. There is, like you said, piggybacking on that, there is not a book knowing how to live life. Sometimes it's just, passed down to generation and people feel like, okay, you need to wear this type of clothes. You need to, what I'm saying, like suit on or whatever, like you have to be. But it's okay. Like sometimes they got people that's closed-minded. Mm-hmm. That's all they know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when they see something like new, they never open their mind. Like, to me, for instance, I always say this. Let's say if I come to your house and you say, this is a chair, I'm not going to be, oh my God, why you call this a chair? I'm looking like, okay. Where did this come from in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Right. Because, this could have called a chair. This could have called a table. Mm-hmm. But we used to, this was like, chair and table, but doesn't mean it can be swapped in a sense. But a lot of people don't think that way. You know what I'm saying? Some people is closed-minded. What they know, that's what they stick to. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's so hard when something changed, they're not used to it. They literally bash it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, man, I don't think, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
But what said the guy that's looking at you telling the same thing? Fuck you wearing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even though crazy people, you look at crazy people, you say he's crazy people can look at you and say you're crazy people. Doesn't really like, you know what I'm saying? There's not a book. Everything can be this and they can be that at the same time, but it take a level of understanding to get to that.
Bro.
And then I've heard
afraid of what they don't understand.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you another thing to touch on what he basically said. Because we're immigrants. We came into a whole new culture to where we have to open our mind to everything they got going on within the culture, from the music, the way people dress, the type of food they eat, the weather, the whole 9 yards. And to touch up on that in the music's point of view, let's just say some people would like country music. Some people like rap, some people like R&B, and some people like reggae, and so on and so forth. And me, I listen to everything. When I mean everything, people might think I'm just saying that for the sake of it. But when I mean everything, if I go down my phone right now and I show you the type of shit I listen to, you're gonna go from rap to R&B to the reggae to Russian hip hop to British. I fuck with British hip hop a lot. This shit go hard. Like that dude, they shit British go hard.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they shit
I like
go
French.
hard.
I like French rap too.
Yeah, like the people like in England, the way they rap, that accent, and what they be saying, they shit go hard. Like I feel like if you don't like, and I've listened to everything, and then when you listen to everything, it's kind of like it opens your mind to whatever the fuck they got going on.
Yeah.
And then, as far as for you being a rapper, somebody might like. So let's just somebody close their mind to what they know. Let's just say somebody's like a huge Lil Wayne fan. And like, man, I like Lil Wayne this, or a huge Eminem fan. And then they get to listen to your shit, and they never really give it a chance. To it's like, okay, he ain't Lil Wayne, he ain't Eminem, so that shit trash. No, it ain't trash. how about you take the time to listen to it? Because every music, if you think about it, brings something. That's why it's called art. It got something that it does to you. It's either it's a love music that's gonna make you think about your ex, or country music that make you want to go ride a horse, or rap music that make you feel like you're badass, you can't go out there and fight anybody. That's what because it's kind of like what they bring, touch your emotion, like it changes you. Whenever you listen to the Migos, they ain't saying shit, but you turning up at the club though, you be turning up like a motherfucker. You got liquor in you, they drop a Migos song, you going crazy.
There's a time and place for everything.
Yes.
Exactly. So therefore, when somebody calls somebody else trash, I'm like, it ain't trash. You just haven't got to find you haven't found a way to relate to what they're saying to where they can touch your emotion. How they trying to get in touch with your emotion with? Because if you listen to everything and anything that's out there, everything touch up. Like for some reason, whenever I listen to Russian hip hop, I have no fucking clue what they're saying. And I know me and my man we was talking about FIFA earlier. When I listen to Russian hip hop, shit, anybody can touch me at FIFA.
Come on.
I have no fucking clue what they're saying, but for some odd reason, Russian hip hop get me.
Yeah.
And then that's the beauty of the art. But let's just touch up on your art. What do you think your art, like, in what way you feel like your art touched people as a rapper? Because as you said, you're different. You're trying to stand up, not fit in.
I think once I got away from the very thing that I was just talking about in terms of knowing that I go against the grain, I got caught up in trying to make music like that. I'm like, okay, how do I be accepted by those people over there? Because I was like, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I need to make, a song like this or a bounce song. Maybe I need to have this artist on my, on my song in order to be accepted by a certain crowd or a certain fan base of a certain genre. Like, but I feel like somebody is going to relate. So that's the approach that I take is if I'm in a room of 100 people and I play my music, if one person can relate to something that I said or something that, hit them through a line about a female or something that I'm going through, if one person out of 100 is like, damn, I felt that, then I felt like I succeeded. Because my problem at first was I was trying to gain 100 fans all at once. Every time I put out an album, I'm like, bro, everybody gonna love this. Everybody gonna love every song, 1 through 15. Everybody gonna love it. And then once I started getting feedback, I started getting text messages and DMs and all kind of comments saying favorite song. It's like 20 different people with 20 different favorite songs.
Yes.
And I'm just like, dang. And I mean, that might be common sense for me to, know that. But I never thought that way. And I was just like, damn. So that's why now I try to, not rap like certain people, but try to make more music for everybody.
I got you.
I have a song called Old Denali, which I'm going to send it to y'all. Old Denali is a song about a time whenever like I was super depressed and I tried to commit suicide. And it's just a song basically I'm talking to someone, but the someone is me in the mirror.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just saying, how like, hey, look, I can relate to what you're going through. So if you're sitting in the mirror and you're looking at yourself and you're talking to yourself, it's like, hey, look, I know what you're going through. I know you drive around and you drink. I know you drive around and you doing drugs. You contemplating life and you want to, blah, blah, blah. But it's going to be okay. If nobody else feel you, I feel you. If nobody else can relate to you, I can relate to you. And the Old Denali was because I was unconscious in an Old Denali because of my depression at one point. And so whenever I put out that song, anytime you're making an album and you put songs like that on the album, like as an artist, like you would think that would probably be one of your best songs because like, it came from the heart. But all the other hard songs and everything, you want to jam them more than you want to jam that song. But then you forget that somebody in the audience or somebody who's listening somewhere, they're going to relate to that song like a motherfucker. And on the Wake Me When It's Over album, which I don't think I sent y'all that one, but that one hard too, from top to bottom.
Hey, send it, man. I'm willing to check it out. Like I told you, I listen to Russian shit, so I listen to everything and anything.
Out of all the dope songs on that album, that's the one song that everybody writes me and say, bro, that song, that song saved my life. Bro, I never thought that anybody there was somebody else out there that felt the same way. Or, because it was really detailed. It was really bro, like you drive around for hours contemplating, like, should I do this? Like, do I have the strength to do this shit? It's like a real feeling. And so I got that in depth with it. And so once I started realizing that I can make different songs to impact different people, then I started following that pattern a lot more, in my music.
And that's what a lot of people don't. Sometimes, like, as human, I think sometimes we go through stuff and we think we're the only one going through it. And I can guarantee you they got 1 million people at the same time you're going through it. Mm-hmm. So, like you said, like, depression is
real.
It's a real thing. I don't think, to me personally, I don't think it's something you need to take medication for, because I feel like it's just like when you have a problem, you drink alcohol. Literally, after you drink it, you got drunk. When the buzz went away, the problem is still here. Mm-hmm. So if you're being depressed, something is depressing you, so you have to work through it. Yes, it's painful as fuck. Like, when you're not used to pain, every pain is different. You might have pain, have no money, you have pain.
Your girl just broke up with you. You have
every pain, all those pains are all different. Sometimes we get used to growing up with nothing, and then you get used to this pain. Like, there's nothing to you. If you lose everything tomorrow, shit, that ain't nothing. Mm-hmm. Then somebody break your heart. Oh, shit, that's a new, different level of pain you're not used to. And then now you don't know how to deal with it. So I feel like sometimes you just have to go through it. And then when you get a chance, like, as a rapper, you can write it and you can express it. And somebody's listening like, oh, shit, they got somebody out there, like, because sometimes we don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
See, like, lucky for me, I don't have to go to therapy, because I got him. I can call him. I say, man, this is what I'm going. He's like, man, it's okay. It's just nothing. Look at it this way. Like, oh, shit, really? Oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? But some people do not have that.
Yeah.
Then you have, like, you listen to the song and you're like, oh, shit.
You feel like it's therapeutic. It's like,
see, this guy is talking to me.
My pain, in a sense.
This guy is talking to me like, this song is made for me.
Yeah.
But truly, it's just like, it's not just you. They got, like, millions of people going through the same thing. Sometimes we just so much in our head. We don't want, like, I don't want to tell them, so I feel ashamed for even feeling something like that. But sometimes we forget that we're human. It's okay. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel pain. It's okay. Life with no pain wouldn't mean nothing. Whatever you feel, every emotion, it's okay to feel them, because that's what makes you you. It's just get used to deal with every emotion. I think, like, just like people say, like, when I listen to music, I listen to all type of music. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't give a shit if I had the music so soft and playing loud on he's a black dude. I'm supposed to listen to rap only. Fuck that. I'm listening to it can be the softest song. It can be both, I can say what, Swifty or whatever the case may be. If the song, like, I feel like I can listen to, I like it, I don't care who's listening to it. At this moment, I'm going through some emotions, I'm feeling it, I'm listening to it. I don't care what you think of me, or you so soft. How about you try me?
Right.
Then you can find out. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes people got that imagination thinking, like, because you listen to rap make you tough, make you
like a gangster
hard.
Or whatever.
It's not true. It's just sometimes we...
Like I said, it's an art. It meant to touch you on all type of shit. I listen to Taylor Swift hard. Shit. If I'm in a Taylor Swift mood, shit, I'm jamming that shit hard.
It doesn't matter. I don't think...
If I'm in a Lil Wayne mood, Lil Wayne all the way. And then I feel like when people categorize, I got a short story. Because I got a real deep question for you I'm thinking about. But let me share this little short story real quick. I was listening to this song say, we're not gonna take it. I don't know if you know what that song is. Mm-hmm. And I was jamming that shit hard as fuck. My window rolled down, and then some black people rolled up right next to me in the red light. Them niggas rolled down their window. They looked at me like, the fuck is this motherfucker listen to?
Yeah, but I don't never understand that.
Yeah, I never understood that, though. But I got a question for you, though. You're a rapper. Mm-hmm. We can agree on that. Let's just think about it it's a race. In a rap race, if you ain't talking about drugs, shooting, killing, you're not leading that race. And clearly, I don't think you're that sort of a rapper. And let's just say right now, because all them guys that are talking about the drugs, whether they're about that life or not, they're leading the numbers. Mm-hmm. And R&B, you're talking about love, you're leading the number. But let's just say you, the type of rapper that you are, and you take pride within your work, right? Is that are you okay with knowing I might never be like a 21 Savage, them people that are talking about let the Uzi spray and shit like that, but my art is something I take exceptional pride within. So even if I'm not leading that race, I'm comfortable where I'm at.
Absolutely. I feel like it's more important to just be true to myself. It's more important to let my music, be like be a testament to like everything that I've been through, the way that I was raised, my upbringing, all that kind of stuff, like the relationships that I've been in, everything that I've gone through in my life. I want that to be reflected in my music. So if I ain't never shot a gun, if I ain't never done no gang banging activity, if I ain't never sold no drugs, why am I gonna talk about it? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sell out or, do it because of a bag or do it because, and I was actually in that situation before. I was signed to some people, that meant well and they had a lot of plans for me, but their surroundings and some of the things that they was doing was total opposite of me and who I was. And so they was like, oh man, y'all was talking about these girls, man. Y'all was talking about these hoes, man. Why don't you go ahead and, talk about, this dope that we over here moving. And I'm like, I'm not moving no dope. What are you talking about? So, and it's like, if we talking about women, I can talk about a woman and I can get so deep and I can dissect everything about a relationship to where I can write 50 songs from 50 different perspectives on things that go on in a relationship because it's what I know.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm talking about dope, it's going to be on the surface. Yeah.
Because you don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, because I don't know nothing about it. And then people can sniff that shit out and say, he don't come from that. And it ain't believable. So why am I going to put myself out there like that? You see what I'm saying?
I'll give you big kudos for that because I think a lot of people sometimes they follow that. Because if you're not about it, don't talk about it. You don't have to, because we're all trying to make money. It's true. I think after a while, a lot of people go through that problem. Yes, we all want money. I think there's a level of money you have. There is not too much to buy.
Right.
Then when you have everything, now what do you left with? So now you become miserable, depressed, anxiety, you want to kill yourself just because you in a place you was not supposed to be. You become,
feel like you sold your soul to,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why a lot of people, they fight, they don't even realize that. Yes, I know I want to be that guy. Yeah, fuck it. I'll go up with nothing. But sometimes we forget, like, till you on the other side of it, then you realize, oh shit, he's not what I expected to be. And now you're dealing with all kind of issues. And then I give you like, that's really big.
Just to touch up on that, T.I. got a son named King. He's a rapper also. And I remember one time I was trying to check out his music. The first song I put in, the man was saying how he got it from the mud. I just stopped the song right there. I just stopped it right there.
Yeah, well, you grew up in a mansion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The man was saying how he got it from the mud. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. And I feel like there's like a lot of rappers. I mean, of course, you know him, he's T.I.'s son. You know the man had it better than most. But a lot of guys, what's his name, was talking about it too. He was an NFL player, and he was like, man, my son, when I listen to his music, I can't even take that shit seriously. Because the man grew up in a fucking community house, and he was talking about, yeah, he had to go hard to get it. And I'm like, what? But it's one of those things, like when somebody got it. And funny thing is, even though I'm not from that lifestyle, the gang, moving dope or whatever, certain people, you can see within what they saying they came from that. But sometimes you can catch up on that. Even though I'm not from that lifestyle, let alone somebody who is from that lifestyle, they can be like, oh yeah, man, that dude is on some bullshit. And then that's kind of like whenever I see people that's like true to who they are, it's something that I appreciate. I mean, the man stick to what he know, what he's good at, instead of just getting behind the mic and bullshitting.
Right.
But a lot of time people say, fuck that, I'm trying to do what sells.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's why I like 21 Savage. Even though he talking some gang shit, but looking at his life, it's about that life. So I can listen to that. Like, I can hear like, oh shit, he got a dope story. If he's talking about his life and shit like this, I can, like, even though I'm not all about that, but yeah, I can understand it. I can, I can walk right with that. But then somebody that's just, you never been through nothing and you're talking about, like you said, you get out the mud.
And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm good on that.
If you think about it too, the people who only talk about that aren't very versatile, and the people who are versatile don't talk about that. So, me and my upbringing, and the way that I grew up on the north side of town where everybody was a gangster. You know what I'm saying? You either getting killed, you either shooting, or you fucking getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up around it. My house was the house that all the gangsters used to come to and hoop. They knew that Dru wasn't gonna get involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't out there like that. So when I grew up, they respected me for not getting involved in the street life and that stuff. So when they found out that I rapped, it's like they respected me for not talking about it, but they was okay for me to rap about their experiences. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, because I'm so well-rounded with my approach and how I write, I can discuss other people's lifestyles that I've experienced or seen myself without giving the impression that I lived.
You've lived it.
I can live with that. You know what I mean?
But I mean, hey, look, no knock on the people that
Hey, if it works for them,
yeah.
that's on them. But I just know, like me, like I can't do. Now I can talk about, dope. My raps are like, hard like dope, crack, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that I do that. I'm not saying that I've done that. That's not my life, but I can incorporate it and spin it and twist it in a way, to make the line dope, to make the bars fire, you know what I'm saying? So as long as my listeners could like pick that apart and say, okay, he's not saying that he's a gangster. He's just metaphorically implementing that into this line.
I got a question for you. So like, when you write, so do you listen to the beat first, then you write, or do you just like have a bunch of like? The reason I'm asking it because growing up, I write poems, so I can like I do it so much, and I think my best work was, I didn't have electricity. I wake up in the middle of the night, and I just,
lit a candle,
and then I write. I wrote the whole thing. Like I'm talking about nonstop. I think that was my best work till this day. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like similar to that? Do you just
because when you just like shit, that would be hard, and you write it down,
and then you got a beat, and then you be like, and you drop it on the beat, because I think it's more difficult to, in a sense. Like I tried, I can't write, and I freestyle all the time and a bit bullshitting, but I feel like it's easy if I listen to the beat and drop my thing or then write it. It's hard to put what I
already wrote within a beat.
Like
once you heard it.
So
it's okay. So let me see if I can explain this to you. So there are times whenever, like I say, I could be driving and I'll see some stuff that I think like I could put in, like I can explain or say in a way that'll be catchy. Double entendres, triple entendres, right? I'll just put that inside of like my little notes, like boom, boom, boom. And whenever I use it, it's whenever I use it. There's times whenever I'm on the spot, hey man, come jump on this song. I don't really like them because I like to take my time, but then I'll hear the beat, boom, and I'll do it that way. There's times whenever I'm over there with Logan, and Logan will play like 5 or 6 beats, and like out of them 5 or 6, like I know I'm gonna like 3 or 4, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta have that. And I'm writing something to that according to the feel of it. See what I'm saying? But a lot of times I'm constantly thinking and writing of stuff. Now, you say that it's hard to put something that's not to a beat if you're just writing it. That's whenever you gotta adjust your cadence. So your cadence in your head and how you wrote it with no beat may be boom, 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 boom. But the beat that you may love, that you want to put it to, may be double time. Boom. So now you can use all the same words. You just gotta switch your cadence and maybe take some words out or add some words.
Okay.
But you can keep the same bar.
Yeah. The same frame of work you did.
Yeah.
I understand.
So it's like a little technical thing that you can, do with it. But I do all of it, man. It's just, it all depends on where I'm at. If I'm in the studio with Logan, if I'm just driving, because I have a driving job. Like my day job is, I drive and stuff all day long. So I'm constantly on the road. And I rarely listen to regular music unless it's Friday and new albums come out. then I'll listen to the whole album, give my opinion on it, talk to him, talk to my homies about it. Like, oh man, you heard the new Future? You heard of that? So, but any other time, I got my earbuds in and I'm listening to beats all day, instrumentals all day, coming up with ideas, and I'm just
like, do you be freestyling to those beats as you hearing them a little bit?
So melodies, I'll just hum something. No, I don't like that. I'll try something else. I don't like that. And if I get too frustrated, then I'm gonna call Jarvis Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, hey, I need you on this. You know. So, but as far as the rap, like I'm constantly just.
Shit, you did a song with Jarvis? Man, I love Jarvis.
You got a song with Jarvis?
I love
I
Jarvis.
a song with Jarvis.
You did?
I gotta check that out.
I'm a big fan of
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Got coming up?
No, so it's on that album, Wake Me When It's Over. It's the same album with the old Denali song I was talking about.
Oh yeah, I didn't send me that shit because we love Jarvis.
We love Jarvis.
And then you
rap.
rap. Shit, I can't wait
Yeah, it's a song
to
called
listen
Higher.
to.
You know,
I can't hear
it's
to
dope.
hear
I think
that
y'all
one.
like it. I think y'all like it, but so yeah, man, it's real technical, man. But see, the fact that I'm like that and I can explain it, even though it's kind of hard to explain for someone who doesn't, write music on a regular basis. That goes back to what I was saying to you and I was talking about in terms of the mumble rap stuff and all the watered down stuff. They're not doing that. They just
They run
what I'm
with
saying?
it. Yeah.
They trying to get a lot of songs out. They trying to please their homeboys.
Yeah, but they got two. They got when you think about it, they got two type of like creative people slower, people that not creative faster because you're trying to get 10 songs out. You're just like, but creative people can't do that. The creative mind is slower because there's like you never like sometimes like you can create something and everybody love it. You're like, that's not it. But it's because the creative mind, you feel like, nah, that's not my best work. But everybody feel like, oh my God, this is good. You're like, no, it's not, because that's what happened with, that's why I said they got the skill. Like people that's not creative, they just do it to do it. Yeah, they can put 20 songs out quick. Yeah. And it's just a bunch of bullshit. As long as you got a good beat, you're good. But people who's really creative, they take the time and then they just,
make sure that song hit and connect with people in a sense.
You ever notice why Kendrick Lamar don't drop every year? It's like
it's creative people.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He takes his time.
Jay-Z,
they
J.
take
Cole.
their time.
Bro, they take their time to put out quality shit. And I'm not saying their shit's not quality, but like, it's like,
it's
if
not
you
quality.
don't have enough substance to talk about, to cover, 3 years of 4 albums of 15 songs, then you probably just winging that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you coming out every 4 years with 9 songs, then you probably taking your time to like.
Oh yeah, that's really
shit.
Because I don't know if you remember when we was talking off camera, of course, when we first met, and you was like, "What kind of guy? What kind of rapper y'all listen to?" I'm like, "Man, I used to fuck with Meek Mill hard back in the day, but after the whole Drake and Meek Mill beef, I kind of stepped back a bit." And one of the songs that he had that I was like really addicted to, I know that shit word for word, is Tony's Story.
Oh yeah, Tony's Story is legit.
I don't know if you're familiar with that song.
Oh,
yeah. Tony's Story is.
And I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but the fact that the man just told a story.
Yes.
From the beginning to an end.
Yeah, that was
on
legit.
The beat, I'm like, bro, that is art. And I'm like, people, like, of course, we ain't gonna be jamming that shit in the club. That shit ain't gonna have people, riling up or whatever. But the man was telling a story. He started it from the beginning and ended. I don't know, like, from a rap perspective, is that something that's easy to do or perhaps hard? To where it's like you're telling a story to a music without, like, you just running with it, nonstop.
It's easy, but it's hard. So I can't speak for them, but. By the way, you ever heard Nas Rewind?
Yeah, I think I listened to that one.
So he tells a story, but he tells it backwards. That's hard.
I gotta check that out,
bro. You got it. Like
maybe I've heard it.
Nas is legit too. I like lyricists. I like people that like really careful with their lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, he starts from the end of the story and he literally raps it backwards until. Like the end of the song is whenever the story first started, bro. It's off the chain. It's called Rewind.
I gotta check that out.
To answer the question, so things that are like from the heart, things that are like thought out, like those are actually kind of easy. And I'm saying it's easy because you can write down what you want to say and talk about, and then you can fill in the rhyming words later. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like doing like a graph or like doing like, what do you call them things? Where you do them things where you got like a 1 and then indentation A, and then like you whatever, and then you have B and C. I don't know what I'm talking about.
The
But
producer should know. You know what he's talking about?
No, it's not a list. It's, man, I've been out of school for so long. But it's something that teachers used to make you do, where it's like you have a title and
Table of contents kind of shit.
almost like a table of contents, but like it's like, okay, you got number one, and under number one you have a title, and under the title you have A, boom, B, boom, boom, and then you go to 2. Anyway.
We don't know. Let's keep going. Hey, the producer himself didn't know.
What was I talking about? What was I at?
Like how to make a story, like, you know, wrapping up a story or whatever.
Right. So what I do is, you know, if I know I want to talk about this, which I'm actually writing a song like that right now, where it's like it's one of those things where there's no hook, there's no chorus. I'm just talking about a bunch of stuff that's deep that I want to talk about. Like I know I want to talk about stuff. And remember I told y'all the other day I lost a cousin.
Yeah.
So I'm adding that in there. So I'm just writing stuff that I know that I want to say. And then when it's time to write it, it's easy. All I gotta do is just rhyme the words. So those storytelling, you know, type songs, those are actually easy for me.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand.
They're not that popular that you don't hear them all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
because it's not selling.
Yeah, I guess because it ain't selling,
not
but I guess that's the beauty of the art when you see somebody do something, because it blew my mind. I mean, Tony's story came out since like fucking 2014.
Even part 2 was good
Part
too.
2 went hard, but part 1 was my favorite one. Because I used to
Lucas
listen.
is good at that.
Jordan Lucas is really good at that. I mean, that's the level of, to me, like this style is going away because I feel like a lot of
Because that
the
shit
new
don't
shit,
sell. Stop shit.
you know, it's not. But those like Jordan Lucas is really, really good. I like when people saying something and you like, damn, like Nas, you know, lyricists. I like Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying? J. Cole is really good with that too. I like that.
I think a lot of people that are older, that grew up before the time of social media, they appreciate that type of shit. Versus like the younger audience today that's growing up with TikTok and Instagram, because a lot of shit that they dancing to is only 6 seconds. So they only dancing to like a little snippet of the song.
Yeah.
So much so that if you hear the real song, you might not even recognize it. You're like, oh damn, I didn't know he even had a second verse on that, because they dancing to the little, you know.
They got a little short version or
right,
whatever.
So those songs don't get played on TikTok. Not the storytelling songs. It's always the popular songs.
Yeah, like something with a dance, put your foot up, put your left
Yeah.
foot up, like shit like that.
I think with social media now too, because back in the days, content wasn't something like
People
you
were
have to
trying to
put up like all the time. So now, because there is so much people doing it, so sometimes to keep up, you have to go with speed. And then when you go with speed, you can't really be creative.
You lose
You know what I'm saying?
value,
So now people just, as long as you got a good beat and you just say a bunch
If
of
you got a
bullshit.
good beat and you can make like some sort of dance out of it, that's all you need.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it becomes like watered down, like it's not the same as back in the days. Because back in the days, we can sit down and wait. Like, oh man, I can't wait to when Nas drop the next song. But now it's just like when you're on social media, there is nothing like, but the company don't make no money. So therefore is people want to start making bullshit, and then people got nothing better than life to do. They start watching all kind of shit and thinking like, you know, this is what it needs to be. But that's why I don't like listen to. I'm like, I pride myself being an intellectual, so I try to learn something I can learn. If this shit doesn't make no sense, I'm not gonna listen to.
I gotta be touched by it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna listen
the
to
dancing
bullshit.
shit. I don't feel touched by it. It's just a fucking dance. But what other projects you currently working on? You got coming up, or if you want, like, if you got like a place where you're gonna perform soon that you want to talk about?
Yeah. So like, man, I'm currently working on a new project. I haven't had a title for it yet, but I'm about 6 or 7 songs in. It's probably gonna be one of the best projects I've done so far. I feel like the older I get, the more I perfect my craft and things that I talk about, how I say things, all that kind of shit. So looking forward to that. Michael McGowan and Logan, they both producing a Big Dream show. That's a show about 8 8 different people, and you know, there's a story of their journeys, you know, in music, and you know, got that going on. No shows currently, but just staying creative, man. I'm a dad, so you know, I gotta balance my time with that.
I see the hat like all that over everything. I was watching that.
That's
That's
Man, I
legit,
hope she
man.
see this
Yeah, that's legit.
and like it. You know, she a teenager, so she don't think dad's cool no more. But it's all good.
But let's just say right now, everything, like all the knowledge and experience you've done accumulated over the years, if you had a chance to talk to your 15-year-old self, what would you say to him? What kind of knowledge you trying to pass down to get him ready for the road ahead?
I would say to do more. I would say to do more. You know, I had to learn a whole lot. I was stubborn. I feel like there was a time when I thought I knew it all, and I was very like rebellious and argumentative toward people that was trying to help me. And looking back on it, I feel like I should have listened, because maybe I would be in a different situation. But if I would tell my younger self anything, I would just say, hey, believe in yourself, do more, and don't give up. Because not that I regret anything, because I feel like everything happens for a reason. But everybody says if I would have known what I know now, you
Yeah.
know, I'd be in a different situation. But you know, like I wasn't a bad kid, so it wasn't like I can say, hey, don't do this or don't do that or don't get in no trouble, because I was never like a troublemaker. Like I was always that, that funny, energetic, you know, dancing, singing kid, you know. But then whenever you get old enough and life happens and you have a few trials and tribulations and bumps in the road, then you kind of have to readjust your approach on some shit. And so with music, I had to learn a lot, because, you know, my journey to LA, which we didn't, you know, get to talk about, but my journey to LA was an eye opener, because it was the first time I ever left Lake Charles, and I felt like, you know, I had made it. I felt like, man, like, you know, ain't nobody else in Lake Charles doing this shit, you know, and I'm just like, I'm here, I ain't gotta really work, I'm in Hollywood, and that shit bust me right in the mouth. And so I had to learn that shit. And, you know, luckily, shout out to my boy Michael McGowan. Luckily, Michael is still around, and he's helping me today by involving me in a lot of his projects currently. You know, he's always been a friend first. So, you know, I could tell him that I'm not rapping anymore. You know, I'm giving it up. And I feel like, you know, he would have the same love and energy towards me, because me and him just go back that far. But that's just one of the things, man. Back at that time, whenever I was younger, I just didn't really want to listen to nobody, because I thought, like, you know, I knew it all, and I was doing more than anybody else was doing at the time, when really I should have been listening instead of, you know.
You know, so about that, I think it's a double-edged sword, literally, to me. Even though, let's say, you know, so we all have it. Like, if I can go back and talk to myself, I would say, like, you know, pretty much exact same thing. But when you go back and listen, would you be the same person if you didn't go through the same thing to what you go through? Let's say if you listen to what everybody say, yes, you will not be a different person. But would you really be happy because you got there because somebody else make you get there? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Yeah.
you could have become a whole different person that at the end of the tunnel you was not happy with.
Right.
And then the fact that even though we go through the, you know, wasn't listening, and now the wisdom you accumulate with that, sometimes we have to fall to know what fall feels like, not to do it again. But if you never fall, you never really know what falling is all about. That's what I find. Sometimes it's there is no right, there is no wrong. We didn't know.
That's just around that you can meet your 15-year-old self and be like you said, listen to people, you know, don't, you know, think you know everything. And he like, okay, I gotta listen to people, and then he encounters somebody that give him some bad advice, like, hey man, you need to give that shit up. That ain't it. And he stopped right there.
You know,
That's what he means.
It's really. I'm just saying. I'm happy. You know, hear you saying that it's really touching, and I can like think in my head, like, you know, sometimes, you know, as human, I don't think like from the beginning what you said, there is not some ways is written.
That shit ain't got no
Some people
fucking
write,
magic.
some
We
people
all figuring
write,
that shit out.
you know, you can write a story about your life right now. That doesn't mean is the right way to live life. That's the way you live your life.
Right.
I mean, I can take something of it, but doesn't mean I have to live my life. That's why a lot of people sometimes fail because they're always thinking like read a book about somebody's life. Like, oh yeah, that's what your life's supposed to be. It's not. Yeah, I can understand. Like, yeah, Dru Blanchard. Oh wow, that was a wonderful life. But I don't have to be Dru Blanchard.
Right.
I can take some of this thing you say like, oh shit, okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
I can use that, but I can create my own. And I think like sometimes you have to go through the. You have to go through that to become the guy you are now. Like when you read, when you sing in a song, like this is your originality from what you understand. Even don't get me wrong, along the way, people told you we wasn't listening. Now we feel like shit. Well, I should have listened. But if you listen, you were maybe like you still wouldn't get it. I talk to my son all the time, man. Shit. I mean, I went through the worst shit. You don't get it. Of course, he don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude, you know, they got the best life. I never had it, but I can tell them 1,000 times it doesn't mean shit till they go out there and get.
Figure that for themselves, they won't actually quite get it.
You know what I'm saying? So
They
that's
won't
why.
actually quite get it. Because, like, you know how, like, people in the teenage phase, you got a teenage daughter, to where, like, you telling them A, B, C, and D, and they look at you as if you just hating. You
Yeah.
just, you know, busting their bubbles. They're like, man, I'm trying to chill doing my thing here, and here come this dude always in some shit.
Bro.
But you can tell them 1,000 times. But it's kind of like certain things, unless they go out there and see it for themselves, you know, they won't quite get it.
I'm going through it right now.
Yeah,
So that's
people,
what I'm
people,
saying.
people will learn the hard way, and
That's-
some
that's
people
for real
learn the
people.
harder way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just like, you know, you don't have to. Hey man, you drive too fast. Man, you don't have to be drunk and driving. But
You
like,
get a
they
DUI once.
don't listen to that. And then you got a DUI, and then you go to jail. Like, man, I should have listened to Dru Blanchard. But he been telling you for years.
Yeah.
But till you really go through it, you never get it. And sometimes, and now you be like, ah, man, I wish I listened. We all have a story. We all have a similar situation. We're like, man, I should have. But really though,
You
I
would've
mean,
listened.
sometimes
That's
you
what I'm
have
saying.
to.
Like, let's just say right now, you meet your 15-year-old self, and then you have to dress up, put like a mustache, and be like, hey, young man, you got to do this, listen to people. And your younger self will
You
be
be
like,
laughing
"What the fuck is this motherfucker talking about, man? Get out my face, man. I'm out here chilling, living my life. Here come this dude be on some bullshit."
So to think about it, really, my 15-year-old self wasn't even like the Dru artist. Wasn't even really Diamond D yet, because my 15-year-old self was still playing football. So my 15-year-old self would never believe that he wasn't going to the NFL. He wasn't gonna be doing this. Hey, by the way, man, you gonna be a rapper, and you gonna have all these projects, and you got. I probably would have been like,
Get out of here, man.
yeah.
What you talking about?
First of all, who are you? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know you would have done it.
Yeah.
I'm going to the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then once that shit didn't happen, like I said, like, you know, I was blessed and fortunate enough. I know you.
Yeah, this fly doesn't welcome
Boy,
itself
that
to the
fly.
show.
Yeah, I know,
Well,
man.
that fly trying to make itself known.
I know, man. That fly just came out of nowhere.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. I'm trying not to react, but he fly.
Yeah,
I know.
I meet you. I'm like, hold on, okay.
Oh man, this dude, bro.
But keep going, man.
But-
we can edit all that shit
Yeah,
out.
so you know, I was blessed and fortunate to get a scholarship to play football in college, and you know, I didn't go to the NFL, and halfway through my college career, I realized I wasn't going to the NFL, which kind of led to the music stuff. But you know, my 15-year-old self didn't see that or didn't know that. So if I was to speak to my 15-year-old self and tell him, you know, or give him some advice, I probably would look at him like he's crazy. Like, there's no way, you know, I'm not going to the NFL, or there's no way, you know. So yeah, man, I see a lot of my 16-year-old in my 15-year-old self. The only difference is that she's a girl and I'm, you know, obviously a man, but everything that she does, sing, dance, everything, my upbringing, me dancing in the store or whatever, she's the same way. So
And that's the beauty of it too.
that's the, I mean,
It's like you get to relive it. You see what your mother was talking about, kind
I
of
mean,
thing.
it ain't the beauty of it because you deal with it in the moment, but you understand what you put your parents through.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how annoying you were. So that part, I'm just like, damn. Like, now I see, like, I was a damn headache. I was a problem.
Oh, tell me about
Boy,
it.
get your ass out this store, and I'm in that mug. Just beat it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, dog.
Shit, my
But, like, you
I
mentioned
feel like
Taylor
part of
Swift.
that shit is the beauty of life to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned Taylor Swift earlier, like, bro, like, I can't break her out of that shit. Like, but that's what she does, bro. She get in my car, she's singing and dancing and all that. And I mean, again, it's the beauty of life. She a good kid, you know, but she's a lot like me. But man, you can't tell these teenagers anything, dog. And that's something else too. She actually loves my music too.
That's good.
That's good. That's good.
That's really good.
So
I mean, kids is really sometimes kids it's cold. If they didn't let your
If
music
they
was
didn't like
shit,
it, they'll let you know straight
man,
up.
daddy,
Like,
you're
that's
straight-
how you know. That's what I'm saying. Kind of like what you were saying earlier. If I put my music out, 100 people listen to it. One of them was like, dude, I relate to everything you said. It's kind of like you felt like you did your job. And especially as your kid, your daughter, like you said, she's going to the teenage years to where like, dude, you lame. Kind of, you know, type of thing. And then she got to enjoy your music. That shows you right there.
Right.
What you got going on is really
yeah, because
special.
you didn't like it, you would have.
Yeah, you would have known. They would let you know straight
So
up.
we gotta. I'm gonna start with it. We're gonna do a game show. We're gonna ask you a few questions, and then the first time that come to your mind, like I'm talking about, and so this time I want to let you go first.
I'm gonna start with, I got one for you though. If you had to listen to one rapper outside of yourself for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Lil Wayne.
Okay. If you had to live in one city for the rest of your life, where would it be?
Houston.
Okay. If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, pizza not included, what food would it be?
Shrimp.
All right. All right, let's just say if you had access to make a feature with any rapper alive, dead or alive, Lil Wayne out of it, because I know you're going to say Lil Wayne, and you call anybody dead or alive that would come and hop on a track with you, who would that be?
Michael Jackson.
Oh,
That's a good ass fucking one. That's a good ass one. That's a good ass one. Hey man, look, that dude was on point. Everything we asked him,
And I said
he
like,
rolled with it.
I mean like, can I just drop one verse and beat it? You know, do a
But
little
my thing is,
thing.
let me
By
ask
the
you this
way,
though. You say you're doing
That's
dance.
my favorite song, by the way.
I beat it.
Like,
Oh yeah, I
no,
love beat.
to me, that's the greatest song of all time.
I beat it. Yeah.
Like any genre, country, rap, pop, R&B, Beat It is the greatest song.
Yeah,
ever.
Beat It was
classic.
really-
I
it's a
don't know if
classic.
I'd go to that extent. Say it's the great. I mean, it's a great fucking song. Don't get me wrong.
No,
But
it is the greatest song of all.
I mean that's his
Hey, man.
opinion.
I mean, I love Beat It.
That's a
I
man's
love Beat It.
opinion. That's a man's opinion.
I agree. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to touch up
I
his
love
mind.
Beat It. I love Beat It.
I mean, who don't
What's
love
your
who?
greatest song of all time?
You know that song. If you don't know that
Oh
song, hey,
my
if you
God.
don't say that song, we're gonna stop being friends today.
Get out of here, bro.
Let me say it. I ain't no shame of it.
Justin Timberlake. What comes around? What goes around comes around.
Favorite song ever for me.
I like the title. Title good.
But I mean, the song goes hard for me. But that
Yeah,
just
but I mean
shows
that
you.
is related too. I guess. But that shit, I hear it so much that I fucking hate that song. That shit's a bullshit. Don't start this shit, man. Let it go, bro. Let it go. Let it go.
I don't know why.
Let
That's
it
my
go.
shit.
Oh, let it go.
Bro, I can't even do that's my
Boy,
shit.
I'm telling you, hey,
I can't listen to that shit on
you know,
repeat for
never
like-
listen to a song. I mean, this song is good. I'm not gonna lie to you. But man, I'm talking about 24/7.
What's that?
that song. But
Non-stop.
That's my shit,
I'm
man.
telling you, bro, that shit was
I mean,
ridiculous.
that shit would beat it. I mean, not like
I
beat
mean,
it
that
too,
man,
but-
yo, bro, hey, you know what? Hey, you probably think I'm exaggerated. Am I exaggerated 24/7?
Nah, I mean,
I'm talking about literally. I'm not making this shit up. I'm talking about literally on replay. Like, bro, let this shit go. It's not that.
Hey, look.
And thing, I listen to like different version of it, the whole 9 yards.
Nah, see, look, I'll listen to Beat It, and then once it get like 2.5 minutes in, I'll start that bitch over. Because that intro,
Well, yeah, I got what you're saying.
bro, and as soon as them drums come in,
Do I have the greatest? Do I have the
Bro.
greatest song of all time? I don't think I even have one.
oh, you?
Yeah, I don't. I got
The
so
man
many.
ain't got no sauce, and you talking
Man,
shit
just-
about
just,
it.
oh,
Yeah.
just say Beat It, dog. Just come on.
Yeah, just happen to be the bandwagon.
Just,
I think I would think. I think you know what my favorite song right now. I don't know for some reason.
Smooth Criminal. I
No,
for me, I
Time
put
Will
Smooth
Fly.
Criminal
It's a
above
new
Beat
song.
It.
Is it
If I had to
Time?
pick a Michael Jackson song.
Hey, a new song.
You never
Time
asked
Will
me why,
Fly.
though.
What?
You ain't asked me why I thought that.
Okay, why? Touch up on that.
You ain't. I mean, you probably wouldn't understand.
I mean, see, by all means, you never know. Because I'm a big
okay,
Michael Jackson fan too. You
okay,
make it
so-
feel like I'm a hater. I ain't hating on the man.
No. So, with me growing up as a Michael Jackson fan, with the ABC song, "I Want You Back" and all that stuff, right? So I was born in 1983. So Thriller came out in 1983. So whenever I was 3, 4, and 5, I'm just now catching up. You know, now Bad had dropped after Thriller, but I'm still catching up to beat it. I'm old enough now to watch music videos and you know, understand what the hell going on. Now, I don't know the difference between the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and all that stuff yet, right? But looking back and I'm reflecting on that time in music, the fact that he evolved from the Off the Wall album to that during the 80s in the time where it was rock and roll and he had them guitars in there and he came in that bitch yelling, "You don't you ever do it." That wasn't like Mike that I knew, because he was like, "Don't stop till you get it." You know, he was smooth.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, what the hell? So even as a kid, I was like, dog. And I watched the video, and he in there in the pool hall, and he doing all this stuff with the jacket. Like, bro, I know the dance like the back of my ass, bro. Greatest song of all time.
I mean, I can't debate that. It's a great fucking song. Like,
When you're a fan of Michael Jackson, though, you know what I'm saying? So you already think he the greatest artist of all time.
Yeah,
if
that's
you're a
for
fan.
sure. King of pop.
Right. So out of all the songs that he have, you just got to pick your favorite song. So if Beat It my favorite song, then...
See, when I think about it, you know what my favorite song
What's
is?
your favorite Michael Jackson song? You got to have one.
I said Beat It.
See what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying,
right now.
No, but I'm just saying, because I listen, I think I don't remember the name of the song, but I got it on my head.
Wait.
But my favorite song, if I'm thinking about it right now, that really impacted me in the highest level, it was in the Armageddon song, in the movie Armageddon, Will Smith. I don't know if I'm saying the name wrong.
Will Smith?
No. Will Smith, like, then in the Armageddon movie,
Okay, I think I know which one you're talking about.
I don't know.
I think I know which one he's talking about, though. I know which one he's talking about, though.
I don't want to close my eyes?
Yes. That song, bro, right there. That's my shit. I love that song.
I don't know why I thought that was Jodeci.
No, that's Irish Smith.
Wait. Not every time I close my eyes.
No,
Oh.
that's but that song right here was kind of like big impact. But my favorite artist of all time was Haitian. It was a Haitian guy, Bello. That was my thing.
Nobody would even know.
Yeah, that would
guy.
know. But to me, and then my new song, my favorite now, is "Time Will Fly" by Sam Hopkins. That's really legit. That's my song. So I like listening to songs that I feel like impacted. You know, they impacted.
And I'm not.
No, man. Sam.
Oh, I thought he said he dope. I'm like, hold on.
I mean, nobody care about, like, man. I'm just saying.
Sam Hopkins.
I think it's a good. I think Timberlake's song was a good song, but I think he ruined it for me. That's what I'm gonna say.
But shit, that's my shit. I can't
tell
rock
you
with that
this.
shit though.
I'm a fan of Justin Timberlake because I told you I was a fan of Timberland.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, they got a song together too, huh?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They got plenty of songs.
He produced his whole
Yeah,
album.
the whole album. I'm gonna tell you another song that I'm a fan
Mirrors.
of. Ayo Technology.
Yeah,
Jam that shit hard. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know which one is it.
Ayo.
Yeah, they got the technology. Yeah, that was a good song.
He know what I'm talking. The producer know what I'm talking about.
I know what song you talking about.
You
Too.
don't like it? That ain't your shit.
Yeah, but that ain't the favorite.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like,
I'm a big fan of Timberland too,
Yeah.
but Justin Timberlake things, that's the only thing he ever made that I really like. Everything else is just it's cool.
You don't like? I like the one you just said, the new one.
Ayo Technology.
Yeah,
I love Ayo Technology, but outside of what goes around comes around, the second
Who
song
on
would
that
be-
song? Isn't 50 Cent on that song?
Yeah, 50 Cent on those for the Ayo
Yeah,
Technology.
yeah. I love
And I
52.
remember I was
I'm
watching
a
the
big
video, I
fan.
was like, it looks so futuristic. I'm like, damn, that shit dope. But
At that time.
Yeah,
At
for that time,
it was
90s.
dope.
Shit.
Oh, you know, like when I talk about it, I like 50 Cent, Many Men.
I
love 50 Cent.
Man. Oh, yeah, that album.
That
Yeah,
album
Richard
was
died trying. That shit was cold.
And
When
in
that shit
Haiti,
dropped, that shit was like, think about it. You got a third world country that don't even speak English, and then when that shit dropped to where you like, damn,
I thought
that
that was gangster back
Yeah,
then.
that shit was fucking cold.
I thought that was gangster back
ass
then.
ain't make
Listen to
nothing
this
like
shit.
that sense.
Listen to this shit. I'm ready to just. Yeah, I think that was gangster.
Yeah, you just think you're about that life.
Yeah, I think you're about that life.
Yeah,
And Haiti, I think you're about that life.
And then
bro.
that's what the music can do to you. That's the beauty of the art.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening to it, and it is just bringing something out of you, whether it's love, whether it's heartbreak, whether it's excitement, whether it's just like you feel like, hey, man, nah, I feel I can beat everybody. I ain't about that life. You know, I done moved up before, and then that's the beauty of the art, though. It's kind of like when somebody made something, as I said before, it might not be for you, but don't say, man, that shit trash. It ain't for me.
Right.
But I'm gonna say,
it
you know
ain't trash.
what crazy? A song, people don't. One time I was listening, like I was going through a lot of, everybody go through stuff, and I was listening to. Now I'm feeling some type of way, and I was with somebody in the car, and she was like, I'm tripping in kind of sense, like, she said, oh, okay. And then automatically she changed the song, and all the shit that I was going through at the time, everything flipped. And he was like, I never pay attention to that. You see what I'm saying? Like, at the time I was listening to the song was playing, and I'm really like, in my feelings in some level. And then when she just like, oh, the fact that that was crazy to me, because I was like, oh shit. Yeah. It never crossed my mind like that. And she changed it. And I was like, oh, my whole mood literally changed. Yeah. Sometimes people don't pay attention, like, because I listen to music, like, that really impact my certain emotion. Because sometimes somebody can bring a song to me, I'm like, I don't like it. It's because of the mood I am. Yeah. And I might listen to it later, I'm like, oh shit, this shit is fire, you know what I'm saying? But I got one last question for you. If you had what you would like your legacy to be? When all said and done, like, you feel like, you know what, I'm done. What would you like your legacy to be?
Man, so aside from music, man, music-wise, I just want people to know that, or think that I was a dope artist that put his heart into it, that was super creative, and was trying to make music that was relatable to the masses, not a small group of people, but for everybody. As a person, I just want to be impactful. I want to, impact people. I'm big on, breaking stereotypes, for African American people. I always feel like small gestures, like holding a door open, saying yes ma'am, no ma'am, shaking somebody's hand, or, just little stuff like that. Like, if I can change somebody's perspective off of doing little stuff like that, then I did my job. Now, it ain't my job to do that, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to be impactful, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I want people to look at me and say, bro, that dude right there, bro, like he made me think of something in a different way based off of something I said or something that I did, you know what I mean? And so, more than music, more than anything else, I just want to be known as a dope-ass person, a good father, and I want to be impactful to people, you know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah, and then this is the reason I love the show, and thank you for everybody that's been supporting us, and they've been riding with us. And we started this, I just like two guys having conversation, two best friends think we can talk shit. Now we got a chance to sit down to people with dope stories, people with different background and
true skills from different walk of life. Sit there, got a conversation with them, and then we can just ask them questions. Let's just say people might not get a chance to see him every day and ask him, and then we can turn it into a conversation to where the world get to see their side of the story, where they were coming from, like what they're thinking about when they're writing a music or whatever it is they got going on. And another beauty of what we got going on right here. Really.
And thank you so much for coming to the show, but thank you for everybody who's watching this. Thank you. I mean, this couldn't happen without like people like you accepting to come to the show, and people that just feel like this contents are relatable and feel like this is necessary. And thank you everybody. And this is the Haitian King Podcast, and
we're out.
Yes, sir.
Woo!